right, welcome to episode 3 of Ripke Studios guest musician feature. My guest musician today, Mr. Andy Bennis, or Andrew Bennis. On your screen it says there.
Very official, formal, yes.
How you doing?
You can call me Andy, I guess. Stan.
Okay, I will do that.
Doing well. I am quarantined down in my torture chamber / basement.
I recognize a lot of those flyers behind you.
Yeah, I got a little bit of a walk down memory lane. As you know, I created a lot of the back 40 flyers, so I got a bunch of copies, a lot of that stuff.
Well, all the good ones. I made it rushed a couple, but yeah, I like the Darth Vader one back there.
Yeah, that's Founders.
Yep.
Folk the Police no longer exists.
Does not. No gigs exist right now.
That's a little crazy.
Yeah. Well, what was the last gig you officially played before the lockdown and stuff?
Man, it's been so long I can hardly remember. I think it was MASH. With Fangs and Twang, we do MASH, which is the basement of the Blue Tractor.
Okay.
The little music scene down there. We always have a blast because it's just college kids just getting crazy. So it's a good gig for sure.
Yeah, that's the last time I played music with other people like next to me was our fiddle player Colin, and his son came out, and we had a deck jam with the kids. We played Sissy Strut and stuff like that, and then it was like that next Monday, everything was different all of a sudden.
I know it's something that you don't know like how much you're gonna miss it until something like, I mean, you know, obviously nothing like this has ever happened before, but playing with other people, like you just can't replace it with anything else, you know.
No,
I know we both kind of try to do some solo stuff and put up some tracks of, you know, playing individually, but you can't replace a band.
It's not the same. I've been doing like you did that cool Carry Me what would you call it, virtual jam?
Yeah, Carry Me virtually.
Yeah. And it turned out pretty good, and I've been working on some of those too, and those are kind of fun to do, but yeah, it's nothing like sitting in the same room and playing with other people.
No, it's just a cheap replacement, but I mean it's fun, and it occupies your time and your mind, and like gets the creative juices going into some direction.
Yep. I just did one today with Peter Madcat Ruth, played harmonica on it, so I'm mixing all those together. But it is a lot it takes like for a performance it would take 2 minutes to play the song. To do the video editing takes like 6 hours.
Yes. I would much rather just play.
Yeah, me too. All right, so in this show I basically ask musicians some set questions. I ask a lot of the same questions just to get interesting answers from different people and see how they differ. Are you ready for some questions?
Did my management agree to this format?
Yeah. No, and I took your manager up back and took care of him. So
you're supposed to say my wife.
Oh, my wife. That's right. So they're not too risque questions, but at least the answers might be. The questions might not be.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, and I'll mix some new questions up with the different musicians. Like I won't ask you, how much do you practice tabla each day? I won't ask you that.
Oh, well, the answer is obvious. It's all day, every day.
All right, so I'll just spit some of these quick ones off first, just for some fun answers, just to see what the answers might be. This first question has had some interesting answers for sure. I'm curious to see what your answer will be. What was your very first music concert you attended as a kid? Or maybe an adult, probably as a kid, though.
Yeah, I think other than just like local bands, you know, doing Battle of the Bands and stuff like that, the first actual concert I went to, I believe, was in the early 90s. It was the Spin Doctors
Yep.
with Soul Asylum.
Okay.
and Cracker, who I still really like the band Cracker quite a bit. But
yes,
yeah, that was a triple bill at Pine Knob.
Spin Doctors had some good tunes. Yeah. And
Well,
for
that
your kids,
hits, yeah,
yeah, for your kids out there, Pine Knob is now called DTE.
yeah.
Exciting.
We all still call it Pine Knob. I mean,
Yeah,
come on,
I do too.
we still throw all the sod from the lawn.
Yeah. Well, I've done 2 episodes so far, and so the first answer was Richard Marx, and the other one was I think Winger.
Oh, that was Adam, right?
Was
Okay.
it Winger? I think it was Winger. It was a band like that.
It was some sort of '80s cheese band for sure.
Yeah. Because I remember back, I saw Skid Row and Poison and stuff back in those days.
Now, I was probably like a sophomore or junior in high school before I was able to trek out on my own to a concert.
Yeah. I did go out. I think Slayer and Testament when I was 16 was the first one I drove to in my car.
I do have one memory from that concert, which was I was with a couple of friends, and it was the Spin Doctors. There was a big jam going on, and the guys in the row in front of us were passing around a joint,
Yeah.
which got passed to my buddy, and like he he hits the joint, and high school me, I'm not in that lane yet.
Yeah, good. That's been good.
And I was panicking a little bit, like, oh my god, my friend has smoked pot,
Yeah,
and now we have to get home. How are we going to do this?
Yes. Did you make it home?
We did.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. Somehow.
Oh, that's good. Yep.
I didn't touch it, Mom. I did.
You heard it. You heard it right here. He did not. He did not inhale.
I probably should have, but.
Well, what was your last concert? The last concert, like you went to, not to perform, but to play it, or to see, not to play it, but to see. Sorry.
So I had concert tickets for a show on March 12th, which I actually thought was at the beginning of March, thought was still going to happen, which was Joe Russo's Almost Dead, which is a Grateful Dead tribute band, but they really kind of do an original take on the Grateful Dead music. But along the same lines, the last concert I saw was Fish back in December. I drove to Pittsburgh to see Fish.
Yeah, was that a good show?
It was amazing.
They still got it.
They still got it, and yeah, they just put out an album April 1st, which is kind of amazing if you think about Fish. And they release the album on April 1st, you think there's no way that's actually going to happen.
Yeah,
it would be some sort of gag, but they released an album that is perfect for the days that we're in right now. So cool. Even if you aren't a Fish fan, people out there, I say give this one a try. It's called Sigma Oasis.
Sigma Oasis. And where can they find that album, Andy?
Everywhere you find music.
All right, very cool. And I've seen a couple. I've seen maybe 5 or 6 Fish shows. Not as many as you. But it was always a good time. Always good music, and of course, good guitar playing for sure.
Yes, which is still the case. I think when you were seeing Fish back in the mid '90s, it was like Shredfest Trey.
Yes,
with all the really super fast playing, and he's slowed down over the years, but like gotten. I think he's a better musician.
Yeah.
Much more tasteful these days. But I love that '90s stuff too.
Yeah, I remember they were quite jammy for a long time, and then some of the albums were more straight ahead of rock. It seemed like, and then
they tend to like cut out the jams on the studio albums. But this one that I was just talking about has a couple of 10-minute plus songs on there.
Yeah.
So they actually really kind of replicated what they do live in the studio.
Yeah, that's tough to do. I think we've pulled it off on some of our albums fairly close, but it's never the same.
Yeah.
You always gets a little more rigid for sure.
Yeah, when you're in the studio, it's hard to get into that zone that you get into in a live setting, I think.
Yeah, you don't get the feedback from the audience. Well, yeah. I've played probably like 10 or 15 gigs with you.
10 or 1500.
Yeah, we played quite a few gigs. So I don't know if when I played at you with one of these, but can you tell me about one of your worst gigs ever? If any stick out in your mind, like a worst time, or it could be just something that happened on the trip, or a bad crowd.
Yeah, I mean, there's when you gig for however long that I've been doing it, 20, 25 years, something like that, you go through so many of those, like just ones where no one shows,
Yep.
so sometimes those are really fun because you're just like, well, who cares? There's no one here. We might as well entertain ourselves. But there's other ones that you're just struggling to get through. I don't know. Worst gig ever.
Not the pirate gig, is it?
I think the pirate gig was okay.
It was okay. Yeah, it was. The other guys maybe were over dramatic about it. It was. We got paid well for that one, so.
Whenever you get paid, it's kind of hard to knock that.
Yeah.
But no, I'm struggling because they all kind of blend together at a certain point, or you just try to forget them. But
yeah, or you just maybe it's that you just have the attitude, oh well, that happened. What am I going to do about it? Just focus on the next one, right?
yeah.
And there are some gigs though I can remember walking away from, going, why am I doing this?
Yeah, it seemed to me like every time Back 40 played in Hamtramck, it was one of those.
Oh yeah,
Like there was just never anybody there.
and Kalamazoo, I think. We
Didn't really crack the
we
Kalamazoo.
could not get a good crowd there. Papa Pete's, we played some, like we went there one time and it was a wedding that was already there. They double booked, so we just played for the wedding.
Okay, that's a good one.
Yeah, and
I do remember that.
Remember the guy who came up to you? He knew George Harrison. He knew one of the Beatles.
Okay.
And he goes, I can get you this big. I know George Harrison. I can talk to him. And this was after George had passed already.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody.
It's like, I got news for you, dude.
I mean, you can kind of tell it was not a correct story from the beginning, but okay. So what is one of your favorite gigs of all time that you've played?
One that I really go to a lot in my head is when Back 40 played Hiawatha Music Festival. We did it a couple times, I think, but the second year that we did it was just one of those times where, we were going to have a good set no matter what, because we were just ready to play, and we went out there. But then we had this crowd that occupied a tent. If you imagine like a medium-sized tent at a festival, but then the crowd kept on growing and growing and growing, and it was outside of the tent. And Hiawatha is a traditional music festival, as you know, and so the main stage is pretty tame, very good music, but it's a very, you're sitting in your seat enjoying the music. But the stage that we played was the late night thing, and people were just losing their minds. It was like they had been listening to folk music all day, and then we went up there and played something a little bit more rocking, and people absolutely lost their minds.
Yes.
And we had family and friends there, and we just had a great time all weekend. It was just it was great. We felt like rock stars after we got off the stage. People were asking for autographs and everything.
And we sold out of all the CDs and T-shirts and stuff, pretty much. And I remember being like, we got on the stage, we started playing. Also, I was like, we played for a little bit, and we looked up, and all of a sudden, something just happened. It just kind of, after the music played for a little bit, everybody just like a magnet came to the stage, and it happened kind of quickly. It seemed like.
Yeah.
And then it just got crazier and crazier.
And I think we just fed right off of that.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That tent was full. It was just, full and then overflowing, and it was a huge tent. Yep. And we had never got booked back.
I think we rocked too hard.
Yeah. What I heard was that too many people, because it was just higher energy. Too many people got pulled from the main stage, and that's their big deal, the main stage. So, it happens. What is one of the songs right now or pieces of music right now you're most tired of performing?
So the band I play in right now is Fangs and Twang.
Yeah, tell
We
us about
play.
tell us about them. Tell us about the genre.
Well, it's a concept band. It started out as a concept. Just we're gonna write all about monster themes, but most of the songs are gonna have a little bit of a country feel. So it's a mix of country rock with songs about monsters and cryptids and unknown creature type of things.
Yep.
So we've been writing songs for we've been at this for probably five years or so at this point, or maybe 6. Yeah. And all those songs I have not really gotten too old yet. So I think we definitely did stuff. I've done things in other bands where it's like, okay, we're gonna play that song every single gig, every single time, and it gets stale.
Yes.
But I don't know. I give tribute to my bandmates. Like we have a blast every time we go out there.
Yeah, you can tell, yeah, and it's definitely a fun band, and we'll put some links up and check it out, and we'll definitely be listening to some. In fact, I think now is a good time to take a short little break, and let's check out some music. Maybe we should check out some music by Fangs and Twang right now.
We can do that.
All right, we'll do that. All right, cool.
you. We're Fangs and Twang.